Hello students, welcome back class 12. Okay students, today I am discussing our chart topic, chart revision. Okay, we can say data visualization. Okay, so we can convert our tabular data into picture form. So today I am showing a very interesting example. Okay, so same example I am taking but in a very interesting way, so you can easily understand. So we have several ways to perform a same task. Okay, so multiple way, you can see the heading, you can see my mouse pointer, multiple way to store tabular data in various Python concept and create chart. Okay, suppose using list, suppose this is our table, name and marks. Okay, so in name column you can say Anuj, Piyush and Lata. Marks you can see 60, 70, 80. But I want to store this table using a list concept, using a Python list concept. So for this purpose, here convert above table into two separate single list. Okay, in Python if you use list concept, so you need two separate single list. You can see in name is our first list. In name you can see Anuj, Piyush and Lata. In 0 position Anuj, in 1 position Piyush and 2 position Lata. Okay, now second column is our marks, so we need a new list, marks list. In marks list 60, 70, 80, in 0 position 60, in 1 position 70 and 2 position 80. So we need two separate single list to store this data. But I want to convert this data into picture form in Pandas chart. So you can see what is the coding. Simply we can use name is equal to in square bracket, because is list we use square bracket, and Anuj, Piyush and Lata. We can store Anuj in single quotes, comma Piyush in single quotes, comma Lata in single quotes. So name is our separate list. Now next column marks, so marks we can use marks is equal to in square bracket we can use 60, 70 and 80. Okay, 60, 70 and 80. So you can see this is our separate two lists simply. Now suppose I want to display chart, so plt.plot we can use. Okay, here you can use import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. You can include. Okay, here I am including this thing. So here this line is important. Okay, so you can copy and paste here. Okay, so this line is important. Okay, now okay, then you can write this code. Then you can use plt.plot, and in ox axis we can use name list, and comma in oy axis we can use marks. Okay, and then we must use plt.show simply. So you can see this is our output. So this is our name data, name list data. You can see Anuj, Piyush and Lata, and marks you can see in oy axis you can see 60, Piyush 70 and 80. So this series, this data will decide by Python. Okay, so our actual data and Python will decide this particular range. Okay, so this is our not problem, Python will decide. Okay, but here new thing is, so this our real life table convert into two separate lists and then store in Python, then we convert into a chart. Okay, now the same table we can use another way, same problem. So using series, because list is our one of the concept, series is our another concept. Okay, series and data frame. So we can same table we can use in series concept. So convert above real life table into series, single Python, single Panda series with user defined index, with user defined. Okay, so you can see Anuj, Piyush or Lata, this is our index, but this is our user defined index, because default index 0, 1, 2, but I want to change 0, 1, 2 this Anuj, Piyush and Lata, and 60, 70, 80 this is our actual values, because in Panda series we know very well only single line we can store. In Panda series we can store only single line. So 60, 70, 80, and in 0, 60, in 1, 70, but in 2, 80. But here 0 index we use Anuj, in 1 index we use Piyush, and 2 index we use Lata. Okay, so you can see, so here Anuj, Piyush, Lata user defined index. So here we can use import pandas as PD, okay, import matplot and read pyplot as PLT, okay. Here I am using S is equal to PD dot series, okay, you know very well PD dot series. In bracket, what is the our values? Here I am using in square bracket 60, 70, 80, comma. When you want to define user defined index, we must use index. We must use index is equal to, here in square bracket, here I am using Anuj, comma Piyush, comma Lata. Okay. So last time I have used two separate lists. Here I am using PD dot series, but in this structure, because in series we store only single line. So a single line our marks you can think, and in our index we can use user defined index Anuj, Piyush and Lata. Okay, but I want to access this set of values and this index data. So here two new thing you keep in mind. PLT dot plot S dot index, because in S dot index, so our index is Anuj, Piyush and Lata. Okay, so all the values on OX axis, you can see Anuj, Piyush and Lata, comma S dot values on OY axis. What is our S dot values? 60, 70, 80. So in OY axis you can see. So same thing you perform in lists, and same thing you can perform with the help of PD dot series. But here S dot index and S dot values you keep in mind. This is new thing for you. Okay, in OX axis S dot index, S dot index means Anuj, Piyush and Lata. S dot values means 60, 70, 80 respectively. You can see. Okay student, so we can also use this style. Okay student, so same program I want to convert into data frame. Okay, we can also use data frame with user defined index. So this is our same table, but I want to use data frame concept. So convert about table into single pandas data frame. Last time I have used pandas series. Here I am using pandas dot data frame. So we know very well in pandas data frame multiple lines we can store, but in pandas series we can store only single line. But in panda data frame we can store more than one line, multiple lines. So we can say table structure, we can say row and column concept will occur with the, because we store multiple lines. Okay, so but in data frame we here Anuj, Piyush and Lata, again this is our user defined index, and marks is, this is our first column, this is our column 60, 70 and 80. So I want to convert this data into pandas data frame. So here Anuj, Piyush, Lata are user defined index. So import pandas is PD, import matplot, okay, PLT. Here I am using PD dot data frame. Here I am using curly braces because here I am using dictionary concept. So marks, this is our key, colon, and here 60, 70, 80, these are our value because this is our only single column, and comma, and same thing index is equal to, so same thing here I am using comma, index is equal to Anuj, Piyush and Lata, same thing, but here I am using index. So you can see Anuj, Piyush, Lata, this is our index, and marks, this is our only one column. Okay, so in OX axis we can use our index values, and in OY axis we can use our marks column. Here marks column I am saying. So you can see PLT dot plot, okay, df dot index. So df dot index will give Anuj, Piyush and Lata in OX axis. So you can see Anuj, Piyush and Lata in OX axis, and comma df dot marks, because here is only one column, here we have only one column, so df dot marks. So 60, 70, 80 in OY axis you can see. Okay, so here I am using data frame concept. So here if you want to display name, so you must use df.index. So this is a new thing for you, df.index. So it will give Anuj, Piyush and Lata, all the index on OX axis. Okay students, now same example but purely we convert into data frame, but here name is also our column and marks is our also column with default index. Here I am not using user defined index. Here I am using default index. So you can see convert about table into single data frame with two columns. Here we have single column, but here we have two columns with default index. Here 0, 1, 2, 3 is not available, but here you can see 0, 1, 2. So here 0, 1, 2, this is our default index. Name is our column, marks is our column. Okay, so this is complete table with the help of dictionary table. So in 0, Anuj and 60, 1, Piyush and 70. So here 0, 1, 2 is our default index, name and marks, these are two separate columns. So here you can see import pandas SPD, import, okay, matplot, df data frame. Here I am using curly braces here because dictionary concept. Here I am using name. Okay, here name is our separate column. So name in column we can use Anuj, Piyush and Lata, comma, second column we can say second key and the respective value, and close the curly braces, and we know very well this thing. So I want to convert this complete table into dictionary concept. Here I want to access first column. So here I am using df.name. So in df.name you can see Anuj, Piyush and Lata will display, and here I am using df.marks. So you can see 60, 70 and 80. Okay, so you can see that there are separately we can access separate column. Okay, so same example we can use list concept, series concept, user defined but data frame with a single column but two columns separately with default index. Okay, so we can use several ways to get a same result. This is our same result you can set. So here you can simply use our list variable. Here you can use to access index s.index, s.values. Here I am using df.index because all the values, df.marks we can access particular column. Here directly we can use df.name column and df.marks column. Here index we are not using. Okay, default index we are not using. So you can understand. So we have several ways to perform the same things. Okay, here I am showing some practical example one by one. Okay, so you can see. Okay students, so first I am copy this data and paste this data. Okay, this is our list concept. This is our list. Okay, I want to save this program and run this program. Okay students, so you can see the output. Okay, so this is our list concept output. Okay, this is our list concept output you can see. List concept output. Okay, here list concept, name and marks, this is our list. Okay students, now here I am showing series concept example. Okay, so you can see. Okay, you can see here I am using s.pandas series, marks, and here I am using user defined index. Okay, series means we can store single line. So 60, 70, 80, this is our single line and this is our user defined index. Okay student, here I am save this program and run this program. Okay student, so same output you will see again. Okay, so same output you will see again, but here you can see S. So S means Anuj 60, Piyush 70 and Lata 80. So Anuj, this is our index, Piyush, this is our index, Lata. S dot index, so you can see Anuj, Piyush, Lata, this is our index. S dot values, so you can see 60, 70, 80, and this is our chart. But here I am using series concept. Okay students, now here I am using our data frame concept. Okay, I want to copy this code and paste this code. Okay, and save this and run this file. You can see. So you can see again the output. Okay, so here you can see the output. Okay, so here I am using marks column, and this is our user defined index. Here I am using df dot index, so you can see Anuj, Piyush and Lata. Df dot 1 marks, this is our actual column, so you can see. So here I am using data frame concept with user defined index, and here you can separately we can display index, column and values. You can see, so you can see this is our Anuj, Piyush, Lata df1 result and df dot index. So you can see Anuj, Piyush, Lata and columns. So in columns we have only two index, marks, only marks we have, and values you can see all the values 60, 70, 80, and finally we can display our chart. Okay students, now finally I want to display with the help of complete data frame concept. Okay, I want to copy this code and here I am paste. Okay, so this is our complete pure data frame, name, column, name key and name set of values, marks key and marks. So this is completely with the help of dictionary concept. There is no user defined index, there is only directly simply we can use df dot name and df dot marks. Okay, here I want to save and run this program. Okay students, so you can see the output. Okay students, so you can see the output, Anuj, Piyush and Lata. Okay, and this is your mark. So same output you can see, but in coding there is a difference. There is coding because here concept is different. Okay, so you can see. Okay students, so today I am discussing the several ways to perform to display our data. Okay students, so here last you can see. Okay, df. So in df you can see name and marks, Anuj, 60, Piyush and Lata. Df dot index, so you can see index is our default, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Df dot column, so here we only two columns, name and marks. Df dot values, so you can see our actual values completely. You can see this is value. Plt dot plot, name in ox or y axis we already discussed, plt dot show. So today I am discussing the same example I am taking, and with the help of same example, but in coding there are lot of difference, but output we have same output you can see, but behind coding is different. Okay students, thank you so much.